Hey guys, I know you heard of what we call the UBI strategy, the most effective and commonly used strategy in Mobile Legends. But have you ever wondered how it really works? Is it just a matter of picking a tank jungler followed by a healer and that's it? Actually, it's not exactly as you might think.
Make sure na nakagalos ka napaka sa target. Your tank needs to be positioned. Timing naman, I guess, is
We are not going to talk about who made this strategy because it's all over the internet and we all know who made it, right? Instead, we will focus on key factors about the UBE strategy. Alright, so Ultimate Bonding Experience, or known as UBE. It's not just some fancy acronym, it's a game-winning approach that focuses on three key elements: utility, burst, and endurance. A utility jungler differs from the typical jungler like Hayabusa, Lancelot, Saber, and other assassins who provide burst damage from early to mid game. Utility junglers prioritize securing objectives, crowd control, and sustainability. They are tanks capable of jungling, such as Barats, Fredrin, Baksha, and Akai. Upon close examination, these heroes share similarities in crowd control and sustainability. Now, why is a tank jungler a perfect fit for the UBE strat? The advantage of a tank jungler over an assassin jungler is that even if they fall behind in levels and gold, they can still significantly impact team fights. Their crowd control and sustainability are invaluable in such scenarios. Can we classify them as a core? No, they are not. A core differs from utility jungler, as I'll explain later. Additionally, utility junglers are challenging to gank and kill due to their sustainability. Moreover, they excel at managing gameplay, such as picking a turtle or lord, precisely because they are not easy to kill. Let me further explain why a tank jungler is more effective in the UBE strat. Consider this: if your jungler is also a core, it becomes easier for your opponents to focus on a single target. It's like hitting two birds with one stone. This is the part where we are going to discuss the core or damage dealer, typically found in the gold lane in the UBE strat. Why? Because scaling heroes rely on items and levels, making the gold lane a perfect fit for them. Force excels in providing damage from mid to late game, and sometimes even in the early game if fortunate. Heroes like Bruno, Claude, Brody, Clint, Ixia, and Beatrix are capable of dealing significant damage to opponents. They are called cores because they serve as the focal point of damage for the team, and without them, team fights become much harder to win. However, we shouldn't overlook mages. While they can provide burst damage in the early game, and they also act as a space maker, creating room for the core to operate. Mages are highly effective in team fights, posing threats to opponents and even resetting their position. Here are some heroes perfectly suited for the UBE strat. We have Pharsa, Eve, Valir, Valentina, and other mages capable of posing threats to opponents. Selecting a mage hero that can create space for your core is crucial in team fights. This prevents opponents' backlanes from gaining proper positioning due to the burst damage these mages can provide. This doesn't necessarily mean a tank. There are two kinds of endurance: one that can replenish your team HP and other that can persist in team fights. Healers like Estes, Rafaela, Angela, and even Mino are the heroes that can provide endurance to the team. But you know what? I prefer Mino the most because it has crowd control, tanky, and healing abilities. Now, the second type of endurance, which is crucial in our strategy, involves heroes who can endure long team fights and penetrate the opponent's backline. I'll tell you guys something about the weakness of all strategies in a team fight: the backline, because this is where all the damage dealers are usually positioned. Whose task is it to handle this? Yes, you got that right. It's the XP laner. They can easily penetrate the backline and eliminate heroes like marksmen and mages. YZ, Khalid, Uranus, Arlot, Thamus are some of the heroes commonly used in professional leagues. They are very effective due to the AoE damage they can inflict on opponents. Not only that, these heroes can also sustain themselves in a team fight. Without these heroes in our strategy, executing a team fight will be challenging. This is one of the reasons why Flap Busy was announced as the MVP in the recent M5 series. Without his effective objective handling, Onyx might have become the champions. Let me also add that the Ube strategy is most effective when initiating a team fight first, because it means the team is already in position. There are different types of Ube strategies, but they all revolve around team fights, which is why it's called the ultimate bonding experience. So if you notice your opponent using this strategy, it's better to counter it. And that's our next topic. Please let me know your thoughts about this video. It can help me improve my explanations about things in Mobile Legends. Always keep this in mind, guys. Every player has something to teach, and every lesson counts.